The 4-4-2 YouTube, the most balanced formation on EAFC 24, should I say. So you are going to want to use balanced on the defensive style. I would stay well away from pressure on heavy touch and press after possession loss. Defending on this latest patch is probably the hardest it has ever been. So because of that, I kind of just want to be in control of where and when my team presses the ball. If you're not, I feel like you will get caught out a lot on this game. So that's why I'm using balanced on the defensive style. The defensive width, I would probably make it a little bit more narrow, go down to 45. Anywhere between 40 and 50 is good. I just think the more narrow that we go, the more goals that we will concede. Basically, on this latest patch, the game is trying to force our defensive structure out wide. I think EA did this to try and stop the byline meta and to try and stop the cutbacks. So because of that, we do want to make our defence a little bit more narrow so that they do stop going out wide. But at the same time, if we do go too narrow, our opponents will then have the free roam to completely use and abuse the byline meta. So that's why I think 45 width is a really good happy medium G-spot. For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order. The defensive depth, you do have two options here, YouTube. Option number one is the option that I'm currently using right now, and I really love it. That is the 57 depth. I think that is a very good depth. My spreadsheet and my data back it up. We concede less goals when I am using the 57 depth, but, and there is a but, I know that may be a little bit too high for you because I know defending is a little bit hard on EAFC 24 at this moment in time. So, if you think 57 depth is probably a little bit too high for you, I would recommend 54 depth. I really like 54 depth. I think both options are really good and they complement each other really well. One thing I will say though with 54 depth is me personally, I do like to be quite aggressive with my defending. I like to be quite in my opponent's face. That's why I prefer the 57 depth. I think it is a much better defensive depth to use. But like I said, I know some of you will find defending a little bit hard on EAFC 24. So that's why I would probably recommend 54 depth if you are one of them people that falls in that category. The build-up, play and chance creation, yes. You can probably guess what it's going to be. Let me know in the comment section down below. What is it going to be before I've even shown you what it's going to be? It's going to be balanced and direct passing, of course. One thing I will say, and I'm going to say this right now to you, YouTube. Long ball and direct passing, I like it. That is definitely something that is on my list in terms of maybe using that in the future more and more. I wouldn't tell you to use it yet because I haven't done enough research in terms of if I like that yet. But it's good. I just much prefer the balance and direct passing. This tactic is used for a team that maintains its formation. Players will support and make runs when they think it's the right time to do so. That's what I like. I like being in control of manually pressing L1 or LB to make my players go on a run. My opponent might not be expecting it. The direct passing, I love it. It means that my players will make runs in behind. Always have done and always will be. The offensive width is actually now 47. So remember what I said at the start of the video with this latest patch. The defensive structure on our team and your opponent's team will be forcing your team a little bit out wide. So because of that, we do want to go a little bit more narrow. And you'll see what I do with the player instructions on the left midfielder and the right midfielder to really help with that as well. I really like it. It just means that my left midfielder and my right midfielder do pick up better positions in the central areas of the pitch. I really like it. But at the same time, they're not really narrow like in a 4-2-2. So they do still hold that width a little bit. It's why I feel like you've got the best of both worlds, which is why I've gone with the 47 width. Not gone with something a little bit more narrow or a little bit too wide. Really just in the happy medium G spot. Players in the box, you can probably guess what it's going to be, YouTube. 7. More players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. It is very simple. Everything backs it up when I'm talking about that as well. More players in the box, more goals we will score. 2 corners and 2 free kicks to stop us getting counter-attacked on from our own corners and our own free kicks. So, custom tactics done. Let's get into the player instructions now. Like with the 4-2-2, I want to close this gap off here between my 2 central midfielders and my 2 strikers. In the 4-2-2, it is a lot more pronounced, that gap, because they are 2 CDMs and 2 strikers. Whereas in the 4-4-2, it's not as big, but the gap is still there. So my main contention with the 4-4-2 is trying to close that gap off. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put both of your strikers on comeback on defence. And you might think that's a defensive move, and you might be right in terms of it does make us a little bit more defensively solid. But and there is a but, it is actually an offensive move and an attacking move, because when our two central midfielders get the ball, our two strikers are closer to our two central midfielders, meaning that we have better passing lanes and better passing options on. That's why I really like that. The other two things you are going to want to put on your two strikers as well is stay central and get in behind. I really like having both my strikers in the central areas of the pitch, especially on this latest patch. In terms of the latest patch will force our opponent's defenders out wide a little bit. So we want our strikers to be in them central areas of the pitch. The getting behind as well, I absolutely love it. I love having my strikers making forward runs in behind my opponent's defence. But, and there is a but, if you are someone that doesn't like having both the strikers on getting behind, put just one of them on getting behind. So the more faster striker that you've got out of the two. So, for example, me on my road to glory, I would play with Samuel Eto'o on getting behind and then have my Neymar on mixed attack. But I don't want to do that. I like having both of my strikers on stay central, getting behind and come back on defence. Now, the left midfielder and the right midfielder are on very important things here. So, the first thing you're going to want to put them on is come back on defence, making us the more defensively solid in the back four, dropping that left midfielder and the right midfielder in really nice. This right here is the key aspect of the left midfielder and the right midfielder, YouTube. Cut inside. Remember what I said? I want my left midfielder and my right midfielder now to pick up better central positions on the pitch. The reason being, on this latest patch, our defensive structure and our opponent's defensive structure will be a little bit wider. So we want to take advantage of that and play a little bit more narrow. So our left midfielder and our right midfielder will kind of pick up into them number 10 pockets of space on the left hand side and the right hand side of the pitch. Very hard to pick up. Getting behind and getting to the box for cross as well. Very important in my opinion. Having the left midfielder and the right midfielder making runs in behind and also getting them into the box for cross, so we do have offensive support. And my right midfielder is on exactly the same as well. Come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind and get into the box for cross. Now, your more defensive minded central midfielder, so for me it's my right central midfielder, have that player on stay back while attacking and cover centre. Then your more attack minded central midfielder that you've got, for me it's my left central midfielder. Excuse me. Have that central midfielder on, get into the box for cross and cover centre. It doesn't matter if you want to flip that round. I just have it that way because Hadji is left-footed and I want him on the left-hand side for the shoot and across goal. Very important, having one central midfielder playing in that Rodri role or that Boubacar Kamara role, holding the fort down, being in them CDM role. And then the other central midfielder kind of playing like a number 10. I want him to get forward, create opportunities and score goals. And that's why I do that. I then don't play with my left back or my right back on join the attack or anything like that. So both of them are on stay back while attacking. I like my back four to be a traditional back four and not really have my left back and right back attacking. Both my centre backs, completely default settings, stay back while attacking. I don't touch anything else. And then last but not least, my goalkeeper is on comes to crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new updated 4-4-2 custom tactics video for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube, please drop it a like for me. Drop a comment down below. And if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that will mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a lovely Christmas, by the way. Peace out. One love.